Libras, welcome into your monthly reading. This is for March, for the month of March. So we're going to take a look and see what's going on for you guys. We are always, when I'm doing readings, I'm tapping into the now moment because all we really have is the now. Right? I've talked about this before, but the explanation of the past does not exist and the future does not exist. And the only thing that really exists is right here. What you're experiencing in this now moment, right? What you're going to experience in 10 minutes doesn't exist yet. But what you're doing is you're creating your next now moment in this now, right? So when we're doing a reading, we're picking up on the current energy. And depending on where your energy is right now, what you're projecting, picking up on current belief systems that are frequency, and kind of helping you to understand what you need to be aware of right now, and what are your potentialities for, you could call it the future, but you can always change it, right? Nothing is set in stone. So sometimes people get really kind of intimidated or a little, fearful about readings because they don't want to know. But in reality, it really is to help you become aware. It is a tool to help you utilize to create a better, next moment, to align with your highest potentiality and really align with your true selves and get some information and guidance that can help you unfold your path with more ease, with more grace, with more awareness, and try to avoid as much as we can challenges and suffering. But sometimes challenges and suffering are experiences that our soul signed up for as a contract when they came down, and they are necessary for your soul's growth and what it really wanted to come down here and kind of, add to its belt, right? It's almost like adding that patch. So there are certain things where you're like, well, this happened and I was trying to avoid it. Or, this really big thing happened, and I was doing my work and blah, 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 blah. There's certain things in life where you just cannot avoid. They are things that are pivotal, points on your timeline that you designed in your soul contract and that you can't avoid. But a lot of times if you are doing, expanding your frequency and becoming more aware, you can go through that experience with as much ease and grace as someone could, right? And sometimes those things certain experience in life can really pull us down to a really dark place that sometimes people can't get out of for a long, long time. Or it actually creates like a domino effect of more suffering and challenge, where if we can be more energetically prepared, like I said, you can approach it in the best way possible. And so we are in March here, Libras. So what's going on in March? We have the full moon, blood moon eclipse on March 3rd. So depending on when you watch this, it might have already passed, but that was a pivotal astrological aspect happening this month. So that's going to be a huge eclipses kind of signify big change, radical change, kind of help initiating really big things to kind of push us on the right path. So we have that. We have a Mercury retrograde this month. So, but you know what? This month, this Mercury retrograde, it's actually, a lot of people are talking about it as a good thing. I'm also seeing it as a good thing, especially with the intensity of one of the other astrological things that have happened since the beginning of the year, especially in February. We just went through, in February, a lot of big things, and Saturn moved planets. I think Neptune moved planets in February. I don't know if it was January or February. We had that huge Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries. We had at the end of February the lunar eclipse. So it was just like all this intensity, and I feel like that retrograde energy is helping us to really, right? Retrogrades are about so like review, revisit, reassess, and kind of stepping back, right? It kind of, where kind of direct energy is about moving forward, taking action, where kind of that retrograde is about like, oh, let's pause here. And it, sometimes that can be frustrating or create some impatience, but really what it's doing is saying, hey, okay, this is where we were, kind of the direction we're headed. And wait a minute, is this still working? Is this still the direction I want to go? Or maybe how I'm approaching things, or maybe the energy within me is causing some disruptions or causing, kind of gap blocks for my real goal. So it's kind of that, wait a minute, let's just make sure we're doing this right. Maybe we want to change course. What is it that I'm feeling right now? Like taking a look, where is this coming from? And especially with Mercury, that's about the mind. It's about, our thoughts, learning, education, communication, information. So it's like we also, if you know, right, we've been getting a ton of information just slammed on us from the external world this last month. And it's almost like too much to process. So I think this is a good time to kind of step back, take in what we need to take in. How do we want to, deal with this information, this energy? What do I need to know? What, all that stuff. And then also about communication right now. It's a good time to not have any like big time conversations, address big things, because that Mercury retrograde can create a lot of distorted. People are not, when they're communicating, it's like it creates this distortion where sometimes people misunderstand what's happening, how things are being communicated. There can be a lot of that during that energy. And then we have the spring equinox, which is huge. So this is technically the new year, nature's new year. Really, as humans, to help us find harmony within ourselves and with the natural world, it makes sense to follow that New Year's. So, at some point, humanity decided to change that, and we created January 1st as the new year. But what that does, it does create a lot of disruptions and conflict within our energy, within our bodies, because our bodies, our energy follows the natural rhythm and cycles of the universe, whether it's the cycles of the moon, the tides, the oceans follow the cycles of the moon, and that follows really a 13-month cycle. And also when we look at the seasons, right, the new year is supposed to be being rebirthed, coming out of, maybe stillness into activity, into blossoming. And that really is represented by the spring. All right, a lot there, Libras, but I think that was good information. Let's go ahead and get started here. As usual, just a quick, plug here about if you're interested in a reading. I am still doing personal readings. Take a look at my website. Take a look at my books, the Sum of Everything series. They are a metaphysical book that helps us open up. So, for example, to try and explain to someone who hasn't gone through an awakening or hasn't felt connected to fifth and fourth dimensional energies, it's hard to explain it and communicate for them to really understand. The only way for people to really grow and expand in their frequency is to experience it. What does fourth and fifth dimensions or heavenly energies feel like? What does pure love feel like? If you've never felt that before, you could never really understand, right? So my, approach and my writings are helping to open up those emotions within us and those experiences, rather than just trying to explain how you do this and how do you ascend, how do you, heal. It's more about tapping into your feelings and your soul. And through that and opening up a connection, that's where we start to feel these different sorts of experiences. So something to check out. I think it's been amazing. Obviously, that's what I guess I experienced, and it helped me experience my awakening and expansion. Also, I do energetic tools through stones, so take a look at my Etsy shop. All right, let's start with some oracle cards. So we have the Light Angelic Realm and the Thinking Man. You know, I have never really, I don't think I've ever picked this card before, which is quite interesting. So Libra, I feel like this is an extraordinary month for you. I think that kind of describes. I do feel like there's a lot of angelic, like divine energy coming in for you this month. And I think, you know, we talked about the Mercury retrograde, which really does apply to this thinking man. I do think there's going to be a lot of things, ideas, information coming from higher dimensions, and you're going to be kind of working with that. Maybe a lot of downloads, I think, with this. This thinking man is also holding this crystal. So I do recommend using crystals this month because I think they'll be very helpful for you. But I think there's a lot of information, higher dimensional information coming through that's helping you expand. For some of you too, the thinking man can represent somebody else in the external world that's coming in that helps you, gives you some sort of information that's helping you expand as well. So that could come through, you know, very casually, like through a YouTube video you find, through a book, through some sort of, you know, retreat, or, you know, maybe you come across some sort of energy healer that uses some sort of a method to support spiritual growth or healing. So I do feel like you're opening up a lot this month. So you have the Purification card and All Tied Up. So you are definitely going through some sort of purification in regards to your emotional body. I think there's this, it's been a kind of an invisible energy that's left you feeling tied up or stuck in some area of your life. And what's happening is all this angelic support is helping you to purify. I see these ties as like emotional ties that has kept you tied to belief systems about yourself and about life, and also obviously this, you know, mostly tied to kind of traumatic events that have kept you stuck, because it's almost like these belief systems are holding you back. And this purification through the water, through this water energy, which is emotions, it's like a purification of your emotional body that's helping you to get out of this stuck energy. All right, let's go to the tarot here. So we have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely more kind of resistant, stuck energy here. But the Four of Pentacles is about our sense of security, our sense of like our foundation of what makes us feel solid, grounded, safe. And this is Pentacles, so it's tied to the external world. So that can come in through many, you know, it can come through our, you know, our money, how much money we have, our work, our relationships, anything that helps us to feel safe and secure. So I think there is some level of reassessing things, and this sense of, to me, the all tied up means you don't feel secure. So it's kind of like you want to expand, you want freedom, you want to be liberated, or you want to make some big changes in your life, but unconsciously, I feel like there are some beliefs that kind of keep you, that believe that you aren't, it's not safe. I know that might be hard to kind of understand, but I feel like you're definitely going to be processing this month and kind of identifying those things. Four of Swords, yeah, healing that, healing something. This is also about rest and rejuvenation, like quieting the mind, doing things that help you kind of, you know, recalibrate, rejuvenate yourself and feel more solid. And then we have the Eight of Cups here. I'm going to take this because we have the Ace of Cups coming out, the Four of Swords, or Wands, sorry, and then the Hierophant. So I think this was Virgo as well. It had the same kind of similar thing with the Eight of Cups. So this to me is about you're ready to like leave behind these. The cups represent some sort of emotions, and they're emotions that have weighed you down, blocked you from really like reaching your next level of potential, or kind of manifesting or aligning to something that you really want to experience, but something's been holding you back. And I like that this healing process here and leaving behind those things, those belief systems, those emotions that have kind of been weighing you down. And then you have this complete new kind of rebirth of your emotional body. This is the Ace of Cups is about finding a new place of contentment and fulfillment. So I love this, and it's tied definitely to your personal life. So this could be, also the Four of Wands is about, balance and kind of creating that, also that like your home, the Four of Wands, it's creating a foundation. So it's going from like the Four of Pentacles to me is like you're holding on to things to try and create this Four of Wands. But this is always going to be, you're not going to fully feel truly grounded and that you've built a solid foundation in your life. But the Four of Wands is about really finally creating that. And you're doing this in a way that's really tied to emotional fulfillment and contentment, which is obviously what we want. This Hierophant to me, this can be, and we'll pull some more cards, but this could be about committing to something that's going to change, committing to like moving somewhere or a different location, or committing to a relationship. There's something that you're really going to commit to that's really also going to make things feel more solid. But when we have the Eight of Cups here, so if we go this direction, there's a little bit of different meaning, because the Hierophant can represent like the traditional things, the traditional way of doing things, there's like an old way. There's something that you've been carrying about how you view yourself and about how you view your life and how it should look, what your job should look like. But it's really tied to an old way of thinking, old beliefs about this is what I have to, like an image I have to do to show up, to feel like I'm successful, to feel like I set my life up. But I feel like you're finally seeing that as, you're seeing these beliefs as, it's, for one, it's been blocking you. Because I feel like your soul wasn't meant here to just do the same old that everyone did in the past. You're here to kind of pave a new path that you're breaking these templates. And I think I talked about that with Virgo as well. So if you have any Virgo energy, or any strong Virgo in your chart, or are dealing with a Virgo, you might want to take a look at that reading. But I think that's what's got you all tied up, is like there's a conflict here between what you think you need to do, the image you're trying to create, which the image is about what people expect of me or what other people in the past did, or kind of meeting certain expectations. It's almost like you're trying to be like someone in the past. But like you're here to pave a new path and show people that there's a new way of living, there's a new way of being successful, and you're doing it in a whole different way. Six of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups here. And these two flew out, so I'm going to kind of take these Six of Cups and the Star. So twofold here. Some of you have a Queen of Cups in your life. This can be someone that you've dealt with in the past. So to me, with the Six of Cups, This is someone from your past that there was some sort of strong relationship here. There was a karmic thing going on, but there's something you need to heal. And you're going to revisit this month. March is a big month of revisiting things from the past that are going to pop up. And this again goes back to healing, purification of this stuff, and then leaving this stuff, finally being able to let go of this. So I do feel like there's something here from the past that you're going to need to, that you're going to finally be able to kind of integrate, because this is about you really feeling solid within yourself, solid in your emotional body, solid in your physical life, what that looks like. And this to me is aligning with something that's really aligning with your actual reality of what your life looks like, and really grounding it into the reality, and really feeling confident about who you are and what you're doing. But there's some, it's like the universe is trying to help you find some balance. And there's something about that, our harmony and balance with the universe and also with the external world is about an equitable giving and receiving. So we can't receive more from life without giving. So if we're constantly holding back, if we're constantly, Four of Pentacles, holding our money back, being afraid of spending, being afraid of I don't have enough and I need to take, it's like you're always trying to receive more. I want more, I want more. But you're also, there's a little bit of like a fear around what you have to give physically and also energetically out. And this is to other people. This is just in life in general. So if you are really strict and stringent about spending money, or like you're not really enjoying life to its fullest because you don't want to spend the money, something like that. But yet you're like, I want more. I want more. It's learning the law of the universe. It's when you express yourself from a place of abundance, that means you're spending money out of an abundant heart, knowing that the universe is abundant and will give back. And there's something there about learning that. And, there obviously is a fine line of like not just being impulsive and just, but people who are impulsive and addicted to spending and things like that, that actually comes from a place of distortion and fear or trauma. And obviously that's where things go wrong. Because that's kind of a taking energy too, of like, I just want things to fill some sort of gap or hole within me. But this is truly giving out of gratitude. This is about giving to the people we love. This is about, getting out and experiencing things that excite us, that give us passion more often. Because when we're living a life of excitement and passion and happiness, that's when more of that's going to come to us. And that's that Nine of Pentacles. For a couple of you, to me with the Hierophant, the Queen of Cups could be also committing to, this could be a relationship coming in that you're going to commit to. That's going to be like a more of a serious relationship here. And it's going to be very healing. So it can go twofold. Some of you, if there's not someone from your past that you still feel there's still some lingering things you haven't fully integrated, and you're still kind of carrying some negativity towards them or feelings, you're going to be able to walk away from this and clear this. But for some of you, potentially, in the healing, there's going to be someone new coming in. And if maybe you are in a current relationship, for some of you, that you're going to actually deepen your commitment. Let's see, is there any... Let's get one for the Eight of Cups. The Emperor. And the Ace of Wands. Yeah, you're kind of going to finally get the passion here. There's like a passionate new beginning here. You're going to really be, I think when you're starting to heal and integrate some of the stuff, your passion's really going to heighten in your creativity. And you're going to finally take the lead and finally realize and identify the things you have to either walk away from or leave behind. What's the Hierophant? Two of Swords. Ace of Swords. Look at you. 3 out of the 4 aces now. Wow. So there is some major new beginnings this month. So whatever this purification is that's going on, or you needing to integrate, or this kind of old stuff coming up, there's a reason for it, and there's going to be a reward. I mean, you're going to have this wonderful new beginning. I mean, it's going to feel really, it's almost going to come from your internal self first. It's going to come from the soul first. There's some new transformation happening internally. You're going to get a lot of clarity and truth about things that have been blocking you. And your creativity is going to be on point this month. Wow. All right. Look at that. 3 new beginnings here, Libras. Exciting month. Looking forward for you. So I hope this helps. You have an amazing March. Enjoy your eclipse and your equinox. And also, if anyone celebrates St. Patrick's Day, that is also this month. So I will see you in the next reading, Libra. Bye for now.